J-Town here. Today I want to talk about some of the standout exclusive level 1s for legendary heroes in Infinite Magicraid. Now for this list, we've left out Catherine and we've left out Agatha because those are very more end-game achievable characters that you're not going to have early on and just we don't want to skew the field. And we're also not talking about any mythics. This is for legendaries only, right? Because at chapter 34 in the campaign quest, you get this legendary Phantom Dragon Eye. So everybody at a certain point will be able to put an exclusive weapon on a legendary. And when you're ready for that point, this is a list of those exclusive weapons that really stand out. Now these are not in a very specific order. I've saved the best for last, but we're going to work our way through the list. And the Nameless Brotherhood, Timmy, I don't see a whole lot of people having him. I'd like to get him because he's very interesting. His energy siphon will steal all attribute buffs from the enemy, right? But if he has exclusive level 1, it'll remove their shield before he deals his damage and give that shield to all of his allies. And if they don't have a shield, then it guarantees that Energy Siphon does the maximum amount of damage. That's pretty strong, especially if you need a shield ripper, which you're pretty much guaranteed to need that in Towers of Mark. Alright, a bit lower on the list, but still pretty powerful, Nidrold. His exclusive level 1 causes Sword Mastery to cast another time if a target's killed and increases the damage per bleed layer. Well, what is Sword Mastery? Basically an AoE that does bonus damage based on the stacks of bleed that are out there. So we all know Nidrold goes in a bleed comp. You're stacking bleed, he drops this, it kills somebody, he drops it again. And additionally, both levels are more powerful because the bonus damage per stack of bleed is increased. Very strong in a bleed comp, AoE, very, very nice. Plus, he's one of the cooler looking heroes in the game. Now Aisha, now she's got a cool level 1 exclusive. Basically, she becomes immune to death, right? For one turn, but you basically try to kill her and you can't. And then she gets resistances right after that. So it's pretty cool. She can come in pretty clutch with a nice reincarnation. It's a very powerful ability. Not a big boost of damage. It's not going to be a big DPS. But keeping her alive so she can do her big DPS, that's pretty hot. I know one on a hero that I have yet to build but is really, really good is Mutu. Basically, he turns into a werewolf. Well, that goes to a whole new level when you get the exclusive level 1 because basically it makes werewolf become permanent. Right? If he dies and you revive him, he'll still be in werewolf form. Clear one wave, move to the next, he'll keep werewolf form, right? And on top of that, the passive he has in human form, where he takes less damage, will carry over in addition to the passive of his werewolf form. Does more damage in werewolf form, but also will take less damage in werewolf form because of that exclusive. Very powerful value you get in one exclusive weapon. Now, here's a newer character from the most recent Miracle Wish. Not many people will have him, but his exclusive weapon 1 is a very big package on the defensive side. This ability, Hammer of Rampage, right? It will deal defense damage to all enemies and will reduce all their attack by 40%. While exclusive level 1 makes that also reduce their crit damage by 60%. So basically in one swoop, he can neuter an enemy team to hit like wussies, right? He can just like, nope, for the next couple turns, your damage is like, boop, in half at least. So if you're looking at somebody to help keep you alive, that is great. Especially in those higher end dungeons where damage is just flying like crazy. All right, this next one should go without saying. She is an arena badass. And her exclusive level 1 gives her 30% turn meter at the beginning of the wave. Just at the beginning of the wave. We already know she dominates PvP, right? So if you've got her built correctly and built fast, pretty much GG, you're always going first. You just won the arena. So yeah, that's a hot one. All right, one of my favorites, and it's actually a huge damage boost, Margarita, right? You read the Discord, people say, oh, should I build Margarita? And they'll say, it depends. Do you have exclusive level 1? Her ultimate, right, does damage to all enemies and gets her 3 layers of blade. Well, blade, when she gets enough layers of it, casts this an extra AoE, right? Well, if you've got her skilled up so that it takes less layers of blade, and then you exclusive level 1 her. Basically, first turn, she's going to cast her AoE and instantly cast a second smaller AoE for one of the biggest AoE DPS bursts in the game. If you're looking for big instant AoE damage, her exclusive level 1 is huge. And now for all you poison and dot lovers out there, Taff is really strong. It is exclusive level 1. And it's a lot like Akhman. Everybody's familiar with Akhman, not as many familiar with Taff. Taff is pretty much the king of the poison squad. But his exclusive level 1 will reset the duration of all dots, not just his poisons. If you're running him with bleeders or HP burners, he can reset the duration of all dots. That is a very powerful exclusive level 1. And also in the Foresters, less understood hero, Serena, she basically shoots feathers everywhere. When her allies launch attacks, she gains these stacks of feather, which causes her skills to evolve up, become more powerful. So she just kind of ramps up and just throws AoE around. Her exclusive level 1 gives her extra turns whenever she evolves, right? If you've got her skilled up and exclusive level 1, every couple of turns, she's going to get an extra turn. And anytime you get more turns, you outpace, you outlap your enemies. That is a huge bonus. And a very recently buffed hero, Oris, right? He just got overhauled. He does much better damage now, better AoE. He got a big single target nuke buff. He gets more crit damage when they're higher than 50%, gets more leech when they're below 50%. But his exclusive level 1 deals 60% more damage to any targets who are below 50% health. So he's going to get that extra leech when they're below that, but then he just all of a sudden also now deals 60% more damage to them. That's crazy. He's definitely going to help you finish some people off. He's going to be an AoE force to contend with. A solid place for an exclusive level 1. And this is one that is going to cause you headaches, right? This one is just going to wreck your world when you face against it. But when you have it, it's going to be great. So Slacto, his Dust Storm will remove all the target buffs for attacking. Well, currently, it deals 160% damage to all the enemies and removes all their attribute buffs, right? That's just like their attack up, their defense up. But when you have the exclusive level 1, it'll remove all their buffs. So if you went first and you applied just a bunch of buffs, a bunch of counterattacks, a bunch of everything, he just like, bloop, nope, and then he goes to hit you in the face. So very good if you have him. He can help just clear buffs off of everything. That is a pretty powerful exclusive level 1. Now, an honorable mention on that same note is Naskama. Now, Naskama is not rated all that high just because he's only really useful in certain niche instances. He's not one of those all-around kind of characters. But he's one of the most annoying heroes you will ever fight against, right? Because he likes to do an AoE, heals all your buffs. So you buffed up, you put counterattack, you put consolidation, you put shields on. He just says, no, it's mine. He takes it, right? Exclusive level 1 makes it even nastier, right? That ability where he does that will be reset on its cooldown when any target who's buffless dies or is under Horrify. Well, they're all buffless now because he just took them. So if you unbuff them and then nuke them, reset that, some of your characters survive and rebuff, and then he just takes it back again, right? That exclusive makes him nasty. Ugh, hate that guy. Hate him. Right. Now we're talking about everybody's favorite fiery lady, Melia. People have been using her as a carry. It's one of the first heroes people look for in their new accounts. And she is powerful just in her own right without any exclusives. Right? She turns into a Valkyrie, she can counterattack, and she's going to stack HP burn on your face. So we can bring this down to a 5-turn cooldown. But her exclusive level 1, Valkyrie will last one more turn. Doing essentially that's more time of her landing those HP burns and one less turn of her being out of Valkyrie status before it comes back around. And that's pretty huge because when she's not in her Valkyrie status, she's kind of like, okay. But when she's in Valkyrie status, she is a force to be reckoned with. That is a very good exclusive level 1. Now, in my opinion, the most powerful, the best, and my favorite exclusive level 1 in the game is his Anja. Now, everybody knows his Anja is amazing. His HP burn is unmatched. He has the most potential. He doesn't have the most survivability, but as far as burning goes, he is the king or the prince, whatever you want to call it. His exclusive level 1 is cool because it actually adds a different kind of mechanic. When you apply HP burn, you normally wait, and then when that enemy attacks or goes or uses their turn, then they take that HP burn damage right before they do their action. Well, in this, his Dragon Flame is AoE. When it applies, it makes them take a tick for one of those layers of HP burn immediately. Right? It triggers it one time. You have other people who landed some HP burns right before him. It's just straight off the cuff. Not only did you land the HP burns, you then got to tick them once. That's pretty huge. That is huge. You can clear waves before they even get to do anything. And those are my picks for the best exclusive weapons in the game. If you're looking for a place to put that eye, those are some of the best. There are other ones you could argue that are decent, good, but those give just great value. And we have one last honorable mention. Brew. Just because his exclusive level 1 is called Giant Wood. I didn't write it. Alright, y'all, I'm J-Town. I will see you in game.
Infinite Magic Raid. Play to slay.